Okay, so we're going to be talking about profit, revenue, and cost, or how it's phrased in the book as cost, revenue, and profit. I think it's a little bit better to phrase it with this order, mainly because profit is equal to revenue minus cost. And that's the most efficient way of writing it out and then having it available. So let me just really quickly put that on there also, so that way you guys have that. But in general, you can take any of these different versions of profit, revenue, and cost and create that relation between them. We do have four different types that we're going to be talking about today. The total profit, the total revenue, and total cost, the marginal profit, marginal revenue, marginal cost, the average profit, average revenue, average cost, and then the marginal average profit, marginal average revenue, and marginal average cost, which is quite a mouthful, but those are the terms. For the initial total for each of these, it's basically just the accumulation of how much profit, revenue, or cost you would get from producing a certain number of objects, mainly the X variable, for a particular business or business model or whatever you're working with in this case. The marginal profit, revenue, and cost represents the derivative of the total profit, revenue, and cost, respectively. And that's basically determining where the measurement would be going, whether it's increasing or decreasing by a certain amount. And the value of that particular measurement is approximately equal to the production of the next item, one greater than what the difference between the current production and the current item plus one production would be. And so the reason why that is because of just the philosophical point of our economy being an economy of scale and just having such large production numbers that the minutiae of trying to calculate a particular profit, revenue, and cost usually gets approximated by a polynomial with roughly the same derivative across a large span of the x-axis. And so things are roughly approximated by these values that generally hold for things like this case. So in general, you'll be all right with using that. And for this class, you should be fine to assume that those are true. We also have the average profit, revenue, and cost, which we can talk about, which are related to the total profit, revenue, and cost. Mainly, what you do is you just divide the total by the number of items you've produced to get the average, and that's pretty straightforward. What may not be as straightforward is how that can be used with the marginal average, which is the derivative of the average. And this more or less tells you how efficient a business model would be. So determining if the profit that you're making from a particular amount of production would be increasing or decreasing per production unit. So basically you're figuring out if your business model would be increasing in efficiency or decreasing in efficiency by whether the profit or the marginal average profit is positive or negative. And it may not mean necessarily that you shouldn't produce more. If it's negative, maybe you would still be increasing in profit. That would be dependent on the marginal profit, but maybe you won't be making as much per unit that you sell. And so there are some interesting things that you can talk about in terms of what all of these individual components mean and whether or not they would be useful in a business sense. But they are all things that are good to know and helpful in general. So, all right, that's it for profit, revenue, and costs. I guess I'll see you guys next time.